when I put my mind to something, I normally come through and deal with it. It's like the ultimate dream. And I've developed a real love for it. And that's what this is now. It's not just like a hobby or a project. It's a love, it's an obsession. This is the real deal, and we need to send a message, and it's up to you lot to decide what message you want to send. I can't really say no more, you just got to go out and do the business now. So do it for every single one of your teammates, and then do it for yourself. Go out there and fucking get the victory, and then we can fucking celebrate. All right? Come on, come on, come on! Come on! How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now, on today's show, we're going to be talking about yesterday's Premier League meeting. And news that came out of there is that no Premier League team want to play the games at a neutral venue. Next piece of news is a sad piece of news, and that involves an Atlanta youth team player as he sadly passed away at 19 years of age. And the last piece of news involves Mesut Ozil, and his agent has been speaking about his current situation and whether he will be staying at Arsenal or leaving. I represent my fucking self. How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right. So the first place we're going to start is the Premier League and that meeting yesterday. And I think it was pretty self-explanatory, some of the stuff that came out of there. They were talking about there will be no professional sport before June the 1st. We knew that anyway. Project Restart was looking around about the middle of June. But one of the key issues involving a restart was the proposals of playing games at neutral venues. Now, if you listen to some people over the last few weeks, you'll hear that it's only 4 or 5, 6 clubs that don't want to play at a neutral venue. And it's mostly the relegated sides or the teams that are fighting relegation, shall we say. But it turns out that every single Premier League team does not want to play at a neutral venue, and they want to play home and away matches. Amazing that. The Premier League says the preference is for all clubs to be able to play home and away if the competition resumes next month. Premier League shareholders discussed Project Restart during vital talks on Monday following the government's new guidance on lockdown restrictions. Top level sport in England could start behind closed doors from June the 1st, but spectators may not be able to attend venues until a coronavirus vaccine has been found. The government and UK's top football police officer have suggested that games should be played in neutral venues, but that plan was opposed by many relegation-threatened clubs. But not just relegation-threatened clubs, as it's now emerged that everybody would prefer to play home and away games if at all possible. And that's come from the Premier League chief executive. And he goes on to say that it's clear to see that some clubs feel a little bit more stronger about this situation than others. It's an ongoing dialogue, and we've been talking to the authorities about the conditions in which we could get the Premier League back up and running, and talking about that advice on board. We are working flat out to create a responsible, safe and deliverable model to complete the season. No decision will be made until after we have talked to players and managers, and those meetings are scheduled for later this week. Players discussed curtailing the season for the first time, but all 20 Premier League clubs also remain committed to finishing the current season. It was the first time we actually discussed a curtailment. It's still our aim to finish the season, obviously, but it's important to discuss all these options with the clubs. What I can say is that out of all the talk and about finishing the season, no conclusion were reached, and any other models. Those are future conversations we may need to have. Well, First and foremost, you need to hurry up and get those conversations going, because if you're looking to start games again in June, that's about 3 to 4 weeks away. And yeah, it's pretty evident that no club in the Premier League want to play games at neutral venue. They want an even playing field, and they want home and away matches. And they don't see why there should be an issue playing matches at your home venue or travelling to an away game. If certain things are put in place, then I don't see why not. And if everybody's, going on so much about the game being started again and it's going to be safe and everything, well, it should be safe to travel to these venues and play in these stadiums and play home matches at your home ground. If it's not safe, then why are we playing? It's as simple as that. I'd love nothing more than to get football on again and watch Arsenal play despite our league position and everything else. But if it's not safe and there's all these question marks, then it shouldn't be played. It's as simple as that. And I've said it 100 times. I've spoke to that wall behind me many occasions. And yeah, look, listen, what will be, I suppose. And all I can say is that if the Premier League does start, then I hope and pray that it runs smoothly and that there's no serious cases of coronavirus within players and squad and, all that kind of stuff. I really hope that we can just get the games done and dusted. Liverpool can take their title. Relegation can be sorted. European places can be sorted. And nobody comes out of this, in a bad shape. And yeah, we can get it done and dusted, so to speak. But yeah, that's, the be all and end all. Everyone's got to be safe. But that remains to be seen at the moment. And judging by a lot of what I'm reading, I don't seem to be sorting out a lot at the moment. It just seems to be a lot of this, that, the other, and maybes. So yeah, they're going to have to get a move on, that's for sure. And I think they will be watching the Bundesliga and seeing what happens over there and whether, that's the kind of model they want to go with and move forward. But interesting. But yeah, we'll wait and see whether games get played at neutral venues or not. Next piece of news is a sad piece of news, and that involves Atlanta midfielder Andrea Rinaldi. And he has died aged 19 after suffering an aneurysm. Rinaldi was part of Atlanta's youth team and had been on loan at Serie D side Lugano. Andre Rinaldi, our warrior, has left us, said Lugano's statement. An aneurysm snatched him in the prime of his life, with a life ahead of him and with a career that promised bright goals. A sudden and shocking tragedy, impossible even to imagine. So, listen, unbelievable, unbearable, unthinkable. I don't know what to say to things like this. It's just unreal. I've got a 19-year-old son. So I look at that and I just think, with a whole life ahead of him, and something like this, an aneurysm has just taken his life. And yeah, man, may God rest his soul. And my thoughts and condolences go out to everybody connected at Atlanta, his friends, his family. And yeah, hopefully his memory can live on and Atlanta can maybe do something in the future for him. Maybe a memorial or something along those lines. But yeah, sad news, I'm afraid. Next piece of news, and it's the last one, involves Mesut Ozil. And Mesut Ozil's agent, Dr. Erkut Sugut, has appeared to confirm that Arsenal midfielder will leave the club when his contract expires in 2021. There's a lot of people that are going to be very happy about that. The Gunners are reportedly reluctant to put a new deal on the table for Ozil, who has struggled to perform consistently in the last few seasons. The 31-year-old has been the subject of transfer interest from Fenerbahce, and Dr. Sugut refused to rule out the prospect of Ozil joining the Turkish club next summer. He told beIN Sport that Mesut has 1 year contract left. There will be no change in this regard. So what happens next, time will show. Mesut will be 32 years old and will have a few more years in his career left. Mesut and his family will make a decision. I cannot speak about Mesut and Fenerbahce because I have no right to speak on this matter according to the principle of confidentiality. So yeah, look, listen, it's pretty much straightforward stuff. It's direct from his agent, so you've got to take that at face value. But I never thought that we were going to get rid of him, now anyway, given the current situation, his wages and everything else. He's not going to go anywhere. Someone's not going to go and pay a transfer fee for Mesut Ozil at his age. And they're certainly not going to match his wages of £350,000 a week. So we have to keep him at the club for the next year, see what we can get out of him next season. And then I think he will go. I don't think he's going to be offered a new contract. And I think that is it for Mesut Ozil, and it's pretty straightforward. And I think he will end up playing at Turkey and Fenerbahce. That's a name that I'm being mentioned quite a lot. So we will wait and see. So there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about today's topics. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you smash a like on this video. And I'll see you lot tomorrow. I'm out of it.